Netflix. From $40 late fee to streaming empire in 2024. Netflix is worth over $200 billion and has 270 million subscribers worldwide. But just 15 years ago, Reed Hastings was standing in a Blockbuster boardroom, offering to sell his struggling DVD by mail company for just $50 million. Blockbuster's executives laughed him out of the room. This is the story of how a $40 late fee sparked an idea that would destroy the largest video rental chain in history, survive multiple near-death experiences, and completely transform how the world watches entertainment. By the end of this story, you'll understand the 3 bold bets that separated Netflix from every other media company, and why sometimes the most ridiculous ideas become the most successful businesses. Let's go back to 1997. Reed Hastings was driving to the gym when he realized he'd forgotten to return Apollo 13 to Blockbuster. The late fee? $40. That's when he had a crazy thought. What if there were no late fees? Most people would have just paid the fee and moved on. Instead, Hastings did something that would change entertainment forever. He co-founded Netflix with Mark Randolph. Their idea was simple but radical. Rent DVDs by mail with no late fees, no due dates, and a flat monthly subscription. Industry experts said it would never work. Who would wait 3 to 5 days for a movie when you could drive to Blockbuster and get it instantly? In their first year, Netflix had just 925 subscribers and lost $11 million. Meanwhile, Blockbuster had 27 million customers and generated $4 billion in revenue. It wasn't even close. But Hastings saw something others missed. The DVD format was getting cheaper to produce and mail. Internet adoption was exploding. People hated late fees more than they valued instant gratification. By 2002, Netflix had grown to 600,000 subscribers. But they were still bleeding money, burning through $50 million per year. The dot-com crash had destroyed investor confidence. Hastings was desperate. That's when he made the trip to Blockbuster's headquarters in Dallas. Netflix was offering to handle Blockbuster's online operations, while Blockbuster would promote Netflix in their stores. The price? $50 million. Blockbuster's CEO John Antioco looked at the numbers. Netflix had 600,000 subscribers. Blockbuster had 60 million customers. Why would they pay $50 million for a niche mail order business? The dot-com hysteria is completely overblown, Antioco later said. He passed on the deal. It was the most expensive mistake in business history. Instead of giving up, Hastings made the first of 3 decisions that would define Netflix's future. Rather than compete directly with Blockbuster's strength, instant gratification, Netflix would double down on what made them different: selection and convenience. Netflix introduced their revolutionary algorithm. Instead of browsing endless shelves hoping to find something good, Netflix would recommend movies based on your viewing history. They called it CineMatch. The results were immediate. Customer satisfaction soared. Netflix subscribers watched more movies and stayed subscribed longer. By 2005, they had 4.2 million subscribers and finally turned their first profit. But Hastings wasn't satisfied. He could see the future coming: streaming video over the internet. In 2005, YouTube had just launched. Broadband internet was becoming mainstream. The writing was on the wall. Most companies would have been content with their DVD success. Hastings made his second bold decision. He would cannibalize his own business. In 2007, Netflix launched their streaming service. It started with just 1,000 titles, mostly older movies and TV shows. The quality was terrible. Buffering was constant. Industry experts called it a gimmick. Even Netflix's own customers were confused. Why would they want to watch low-quality videos on their computer when they could get pristine DVDs by mail? Hastings didn't care about the criticism. He knew that streaming was the future, even if the technology wasn't ready yet. He would rather disrupt himself than let someone else do it. Meanwhile, Blockbuster was finally waking up. In 2007, they launched Blockbuster Online and Total Access, offering both mail delivery and in-store exchanges. For a moment, it looked like they might win. Netflix's stock price crashed from $42 to $8. Investors were panicking. The company that had survived the dot-com crash was now facing extinction from the very company they tried to partner with. But Hastings had one more card to play. In 2013, Netflix made their third and most audacious bet. Instead of just licensing content from TV networks and movie studios, they would become a content creator themselves. House of Cards was Netflix's first original series. Industry veterans said it was insane. Netflix was a technology company, not a media company. They had no experience making TV shows. Why would they compete with their own suppliers? The show cost $100 million for 2 seasons, an enormous gamble for a streaming service that many people still didn't take seriously. But Hastings had learned something from analyzing viewing data that traditional networks didn't understand. People wanted to binge-watch entire seasons. They wanted shows available on demand, without commercials. House of Cards became a cultural phenomenon. Netflix released all 13 episodes at once, creating the binge-watching revolution. Traditional TV executives were horrified, but audiences loved it. Netflix proved that data could beat intuition, algorithms could beat focus groups, and technology companies could make better entertainment than entertainment companies. What happened next transformed the entire industry. Netflix continued investing billions in original content. Stranger Things, The Crown, Orange is the New Black. Each show brought millions of new subscribers. Traditional media companies panicked. Disney, HBO, NBC, everyone scrambled to launch their own streaming services. The industry that had ignored Netflix for years suddenly realized they were in an existential fight. By 2020, Netflix had over 200 million subscribers worldwide. They were spending $17 billion per year on content, more than any traditional network. They had fundamentally changed how entertainment is made, distributed, and consumed. Blockbuster? They filed for bankruptcy in 2010. The company that once dominated home entertainment with 9,000 stores worldwide now has exactly one location left, in Bend, Oregon. Today, Netflix streams over 1 billion hours of content every week. They operate in over 190 countries. Their original programming has won Emmy Awards, Oscar nominations, and global acclaim. The company that started with a $40 late fee now influences what 270 million people watch every day. So what can you learn from Netflix's incredible journey? There are 3 key principles that apply to any business. Principle 1. Your biggest weakness can become your greatest strength. Netflix was slower than Blockbuster, but they turned that weakness into an advantage by offering unlimited selection and no late fees. Don't try to beat competitors at their own game. Change the rules entirely. Principle 2. Disrupt yourself before someone else does. Netflix willingly cannibalized their profitable DVD business to build streaming. They cannibalized their licensing model to create original content. The only way to avoid disruption is to disrupt yourself first. Principle 3. Data beats intuition. While traditional media companies relied on gut feelings and focus groups, Netflix used viewing data to decide what shows to make and how to release them. In the information age, the best data wins. Netflix proved that in business, timing isn't everything, persistence is. They were too early with DVDs by mail, too early with streaming, and too early with original content. But they kept pushing forward when everyone else said they were crazy. The next time someone laughs at your business idea, remember, they laughed at Netflix too. The company that Blockbuster refused to buy for $50 million is now worth 4,000 times more than what Blockbuster paid to buy themselves out of bankruptcy. Sometimes the most ridiculous ideas are just ahead of their time.